right, hey, so I figured it was time for me to do an Instacart video where I show you guys how I do things or what have you. So this first part of the video, I'll just go through. I actually did like a shop. It took me about 15 minutes. It looks like it's 18 items to get. So I'll just show you how I shop this order. The first thing I'm doing is looking through all the items just to see what it is I have. And then I'm also looking all the way down to the bottoms. This is a Kroger order and they put their produce all the way at the bottom. I am stayed on the seafood items because that's usually right by the deli. So I'll grab those items first. But how I usually do it is I grab the seafood and produce. The produce first. And then I'll grab like any seafood or deli items, any meat items, because those items are usually before I get to the regular aisles. For the dairy products, I grab those as I pass them. So as I pass the cheese, in this particular Kroger that I'm in, the cheese is like right at the top of like aisles, like 4 through maybe like 7 or 8. So as I'm shopping down those aisles, I'll come back up to the top of the aisle and grab whatever dairy products I need, or I'll just go ahead and grab all like the cheese that I need, and then the milk and things are like further down the store. So I just, like I said, work the dairy in as I go through the aisles. So what you have to do is when you're on the app, you see these items on the list. You see that it's labeled. It tells you what items are for which customer. I grab the item and then I scan it. You see me here looking, making sure I get the right item. And I scan the item and it tells me who the item is for after I scan it, and I put it in its respective place in my cart. Here, I do believe that the person B only had a couple of items, so I used the top of the cart for person B and the basket part of the cart for person A. My apologies, the screen kind of got cut off here, so my son called me while I was shopping. So like I said, what you'll see in this video, the first part of the video will be me shopping the video. Then I'll give some other little tips of how I, organize my cart, how I organize my car when I pack the order in my trunk. You'll see me dropping off an order, and then you'll just hear some other facts about, or, just different tips and tricks or what have you that help me along the way. I do also have more tips and tricks, so let me know in the comments if you would like to hear more. I have a lot more footage, probably about 30 minutes more, but I didn't want to make this video like super long. It's already long enough. But yeah, just let me know if you want that extra footage and I will definitely post it. But hope you enjoy. Hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, definitely let me know.
Alright, so back to it. This is so I've shopped the order. I'm gonna tell y'all how to explain, but I'll explain further how I separate. So this part up here is for A, and I got a basket in here for any overflow or whatever for A, and then everything down here is B. And the B, nope, nobody is under the cart, but usually if I have to put some under the cart, I put these stuff over there, and I'm putting it in the bag. But yeah, so fully shopped order here. I forget how many items is in there, and this is 2 people. But if I had 3 people, then I would just put the first one person up here, put a person in the basket, and like kind of move the basket up so I can put stuff like behind the basket, and I put the third person like in that part, where all that stuff is or whatever. But yep, so I don't have to walk around with 3 baskets or more than 1 cart. I just try to utilize the 1 cart. Alright, so I just got finished shopping the order. Wanted to show y'all how I packed my trunk. So this mired basket, don't do that, y'all. Don't be trying to tell on me, okay? Listen, I needed it. Hey, you might want to grab you one too. But so this mired basket has B's order in it. B had the least amount of like bags or whatever, but they also have these 2 waters, and then they got these pops back here. And then A has paper bags, this and these 2 things that I just I could have fit this in the bag, but I just didn't put it in the bag. But in any event, so this is what my trunk looks like afterwards. And also just make sure you be real careful with these paper bags because they are very weak, okay, and they do be breaking, but it helps me to stay organized, so that's why I use them. If paper bags weren't available, then I would just tie one of the bags or something like that, or just separate it in here so I know what is what. How y'all doing? Y'all have to cover some personal, okay? I also feel like I didn't put this thing on right now. Anywho, all right, so I figured I am vlogging today. I'm going to tell you guys some tips and tricks or what have you, what I do when I Instacart, okay?
I've been Instacarting for some months now. I've like gotten the whole little rhythm and flow, and I think I got some good tips to share. Okay. All right. So right now I'm on my way to Costco. Dang, y'all, it's real close. Okay. Hello. I didn't want it too high. Anywho, okay. So I'm on my way to Costco. I got a 2-person order. What I like to do is I, look at the orders that are available to me. Now, one thing I don't do, I do not go out and wait for orders to pop up. I stay at home and I wait for something attractive and then I head out. Shoot, I always forget to put this dang on app on when I'm driving to the dang on place. I literally always forget. So it's recommended that you use this app called Stride, and it tracks your miles for you or what have you, and it's going to be really helpful come tax time, okay? Because this money that we're making is untaxed, and you're going to have to pay some taxes on it at the end of the year. So you want to reduce your tax bill by reporting your expenses, and one way to do that is to use that Stride app. So I think there are other tracking apps, but this is the one that Instacart and or DoorDash recommended to use. But I don't leave it on the whole time I'm doing it because it just runs my battery down because it's working in the background. But I turn it on. I would turn it on from the time you leave the house to when you get back. But turn it on as you're making the deliveries or whatever. So as you go to the store, then when you leave the store to make the deliveries, keep it on till you get to your next destination or whatever, and then turn it off once you're done driving for Instacart or whatever. So I don't leave the house until I see an order that I'm gonna do. Now if I'm out already, I will go and sit in a parking lot and wait for an order to come, but if I'm not, I'm at the house until I see something. Was gonna say, when I'm looking at orders, I want to pick an order that is a decent pay. So usually on the weekends, like Saturday and Sunday, I'm looking for like $20+ orders, especially if it's more than one person. Because anything less than that, I feel like is not worth my time, especially if it's like a really big order, like you have to shop like 40-50 items and multiple units of those items. I'm definitely looking 20+, and because I know that that's what the weekend offers in my area, you won't be hard pressed to find a $20+ order or whatever. So I do that. I also like to, when I'm looking at those, I also don't just get enticed by the dollar amount, but I also am looking at the distance, because the longer you have, the further the distance that you have to deliver those groceries, the longer it takes you, especially if it's multiple people, and the longer it takes you to get back to a store and start shopping again or whatever. So it just drags out your day. So I've done probably like 10. I don't think I've done, no, I probably did a 20-mile one before, but I don't like to do it though. Like, I definitely keep it under 10 miles if I can or whatever, as far as the delivery is concerned, especially if it's more than one person. But also just depends on how much money they offering, because I got this Costco order once and they ordered like $500 worth of products or groceries or whatever, and it was $50 tip. And listen, when I seen $50, I said, I don't care how far I'm going. Well, actually it was $65. The whole batch was $65, and including this $50 tip. I said, I don't care how far it is, I'm grabbing this. But luckily it wasn't that far. But yeah, don't always get sold on the dollar amount, because sometimes it's just really not worth it. Like, especially if it's like super far. Like, I'm looking at the miles, I'm looking at the amount of the batch. So the batch is however many orders is in that batch. It's just one batch or whatever, or one order. Or a batch is a group of orders. So it could be one, it could be two. It just, however much it is. Now,
I sometimes as well on the weekends, if I can, do one person order batches, because again, that's just a quicker batch for me to get done and get back to another order or whatever. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was going to say. This happens often. Yeah. So there's gonna be multiple parts of this video. I'm gonna take you in the store. I don't know that I'm necessarily gonna get to do a start to finish type of deal or whatever, but I will show you the different pieces of it. Like, of course, me shopping the order, what I do when I have to check out, dropping it off or whatever. Well, yeah, dropping it off, but I may not be able to like show you in the app because I don't want to, put people's addresses on the interwebs. But yeah, so a batch. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So a batch is, one is a group of orders. It could be, like I said, it could be 1 or 2, 3. The most you get is 3, and then it'll show you on the app how many orders are in the batch, how many things they've ordered. It'll tell you how much the batch pay is, so that's just your base pay basically, and then how much of a tip you are getting for that batch. And also, I mean, if you are somebody who don't like carrying heavy stuff or whatever, you just don't, you do have the capability to look at the items that they ordered and see whether or not you want to do that or whatever. Me, I'm not really too concerned about whatever it is, I'm gonna do it or whatever. I don't really mind like carrying water, and then Costco, obviously, it's gonna be heavy or whatever. So yeah, all right. But I'm about to go on Costco, and I got a 2-person order. I'm gonna show y'all this app real quick. Safety first, you feel me? Actually, I need to drink some water real quick. But so this is what the app looks like. I got a 2-person batch. Person A has 1. Person B has 10 items. For Costco, you just want to make sure that you don't start the batch until you've gotten in the door, because I've done that before. And on this screen is where it shows you the membership card, so it don't show you beyond this. So you gotta wait to start the batch until you get in the door. But also, I think that I don't even know how I messed around and did it one time, but just don't start your batch anyway until you ready to shop, because once you start the batch, that's when your time starts, the shopping time starts or whatever, and you don't want to waste run down your clock or whatever before you are actually shopping or whatever. So even if you like go in the store but you gotta use the restroom or something, which I do sometimes, obviously natural thing, I don't start it until after I've used the bathroom and I'm ready to shop or whatever. But I don't even know. I mean, the time, I usually do get done before the time is up, because it's a challenge to me, but I don't really adhere to it. Like, I'm not really pressed if I don't get it in time. I don't know what happens, or if there's a consequence, whatever. Probably was in some materials that I didn't read. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I get done, especially when I first used to do Costco ones or whatever, because I ain't really know where the heck nothing was or whatever, but now I'm a little used to it. But hey, the first time you shop a store that you aren't familiar with, you may run over time, but I wouldn't stress about it or whatever. I think it's also just a suggestion as well. So one thing I like to do is keep waters in my car. I usually grab a couple before I leave out my house. Just helpful, get you some snacks, okay, especially if you're gonna be doing it for a long time or whatever. And yeah, all right, so I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell y'all some more stuff. Couple things. So since I'm like out all day now, my dang on car chargers wasn't working for a while, so I like stopped using I stopped listening to music for real. Just trying not to do anything extra on my phone that will make my battery die or whatever, because I need it. Okay, so now when you get your receipts, after you've done shopping, you have to take a picture of it, of your receipt. It say to keep your receipt for like 2 weeks. I don't do that. I keep it until I drop it off, because after that, ain't nothing I'm about to be doing with this. But I usually just I keep all my receipts to the end of the day, basically. or probably to the next time I get in the car. I like, put them in my little cup holder here. Another thing, if you're like me and that you don't have like unlimited data, I try to I don't go to stores just so that I can use their Wi-Fi, but what I do is I use the Wi-Fi in the store or whatever. Also just helps the app work better as well, because sometimes you may not have good reception in the store, which can make the app act really funny. So I use the Wi-Fi. Another thing, I have tried to do a couple different stores just because I want to get some experience, because I would say don't do the ones that you're not familiar with, but you're not going to get familiar if you don't try and do them. So I've done quite a few. I don't like some ones. I like doing the ones where the app will have the aisle numbers and everything lined up for you. Kroger is the absolute best to me, because Kroger got the aisle, and Kroger tells you the aisle that it's in and the shelf that it's on. And so usually I don't always use the shelf, but if I can't find it immediately, count the shelves every time. That works for me, counting the shelves. Now sometimes a couple of the Krogers around me are remodeling, so the shelves don't always match or haven't matched lately, but for the most part it's pretty accurate. But even if it's a store that just tells me what aisle it's in, I just absolutely appreciate that, because I don't like doing Aldi orders unless it's just a really good pay or something like that, or I just am desperate to do an order, because Aldi is just so a lot of stuff at Aldi may not be there, but they still have it on the app for a customer to order, so that's very frustrating. I love doing Meijer as well, because Meijer does have Meijer has the aisles labeled as well in the app. I don't know. I know Kroger has a couple different names or whatever, like Publix and whatever, but it's Kroger where I'm at. But yeah, I love doing Kroger. And the Kroger order, and plus I shop at. I guess I was supposed to turn left on this street. See, but that's because I got the volume turned off so that y'all don't keep hearing these directions. But yeah, but also if you in a rush, you trying to get some orders done fairly quickly, definitely do the stores that you most familiar with or whatever, because that mean that you're gonna get in and out of there. I literally even on a 3-person order, 50 items, however many units, usually only take me about 25 30 minutes or whatever. It don't matter how many it is. If it's a real big Kroger order, it usually takes me no more than 30 minutes or whatever. But that's just because I love Kroger so much and I shop there personally anyway. So I knew where a lot of stuff was. And then doing Instacart, I know more of where things should be. So it's pretty cool. Another thing, what else do I do? At some stores, they put your produce at the bottom. So for example, Kroger definitely put your produce at the bottom. First, I like to look through and see what it is that I have, so that I know where I'm going in the store. So for example, Kroger, which is very annoying, I don't know why they do it. Most of the produce they put at the bottom, so it sucks that you get all the way, and then in most of my Krogers, the checkout line is by the other end of the store, and the produce is on the first end. Well, I don't know why. It just don't make no sense. The produce is always when you first come in the store, so why do they put it on the bottom of the list? It makes no sense to me. But in any event, I look to see the produce, because that's where I enter at, so I want to get that first or whatever. And maybe they do that because you want to get maybe I guess you're supposed to get the produce last or whatever, so to keep it fresh and cool or whatever. I'm not doing that, because I'm not going to one end just to go back to the other end when I was already at that end. So I get my produce first, and then of course, but the freezer stuff always is the last aisle anyway, so I get that stuff last or whatever. So you want to look at if you're doing Kroger, scroll all the way to the bottom, get your produce first. And then sometimes there's produce at the top as well, but most of your produce, the loose items, gonna be at the bottom. It's so weird. And then,
You also want to make sure that you capture any of your like deli seafood type stuff, because that stuff is not like totally labeled, but they usually put that before you get to like the aisle numbers or whatever. But yeah, also it just helps to know where stuff is in your store, because it could say something like, oh, this is a seafood meat and seafood thing, but it's actually in the frozen section or whatever. Just so I would just, but you get used to it and more familiar as you keep doing it. What else? Yeah, I don't always get enticed by how much money a batch makes. I'm more so concerned with the number of, does the money make sense for the amount of work you about to put in, basically. Like if they talk about, and sometimes you could pretty much tell if it doesn't have a tip on there. And not that I'm working for tips, but I just feel like this is a lot of work I'm doing, like especially people who order in like 50, 60 unit or 50 items with like 60 plus units of each, like of all those items combined or whatever, and you don't want to tip me. Like, don't you know that's a lot of work? I got to shop all that, and then I got to carry all that to your door, and no, I just feel like that's not okay. I don't think it's cool. So therefore, I don't accept orders that don't have no tip. I don't care if they talking about if they feel like they gonna tip you when you get there. Well, sorry, I can't do it. Tip whoever gonna accept it on there, because I can't do it. But yeah, I just make sure that it's worth my time. All right, this is sorry for the address, y'all. I know you gotta get quiet. You gotta get quiet. For the address, you gotta turn the music down. Tell you something else when I get back in the car about dropping stuff off. All right, another thing, when I'm dropping stuff off, sometimes it say meet the customer. Sometimes it gives you the option to either meet them or drop it off on their doorstep. I always drop it off on their doorstep. If it say meet the customer and it don't give me an option to leave it at their doorstep, what I'll do is, get all their groceries on the doorstep, and then I'll just knock on the door. So I get all the stuff on the doorstep, and then I knock on the door and I peace out, because I'm not sitting here waiting for you. And most of the time, I feel like people don't even realize that they didn't give people an option to not leave it at their door or whatever, or sometimes they desire that. Sometimes it'll say meet the customer, but then it say leave it at the door. They also be saying don't ring their doorbell. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't even bother with that. And plus, the app is going to notify you that as a person who has ordered Instacart before, the app going to let you know every step of the way. It's going to let you know when somebody at your door, when they shopping your order, if they making replacements, when they on their way, when your order is outside. Okay, so you really ain't got, that it's just a courtesy. Now, about when I get in the store. Now, when I first started, I did used to actively chat with customers or whatever. I don't do that anymore because I find that not everybody is like, they don't even be on the app. They don't be, I don't know, they just don't be responsive. And I feel like me sitting there constantly chatting with people is taking more time from me hurrying up and shopping the order or whatever. So if they want to, I do chat with people if they want to chat or whatever. Some people do be, hit you up, be like, hi, they just want to, what I'm saying, that's fine. But if they don't automatically, what I'm trying to say, if they don't initiate it or whatever, I'm not saying nothing to them unless I need to ask them, do I need to switch something out? Now, if I do see that it's a customer who is their first order, I do say something. I do introduce myself just because I feel like it's their first order. You could be nervous about it. You don't know what to expect or whatever. So I like to, if it's their first time, give them a good experience or whatever. But for the people that be on a 567th order, they done been here before. They know what's going on. You don't need to do all that. Yeah, so I don't do that. About replacing items, now it usually tell you that the app does tell you that you should contact the customer if the replacement is not available, and if they don't give you replacements. Now listen, if you're watching this and you order Instacart, please give people suggestions on what you would like if something is not available. It is so helpful, okay? Like now, I feel like before, the very first time I ordered Instacart, I feel like I could give more than one request, like more than one request or whatever, and maybe it just depends on the item. But the last time I ordered Instacart, it will only let me give one suggestion if something that I ordered was out. But it just really helps the shopper, because it just helps us shop faster or whatever. It's unfortunate, but sometimes I don't like refunding, because it say on the app that most of the time customers don't want a refund, so just try to replace it with the best thing possible. So for me, and maybe this is just the shopper mentality in me, because I just like grocery shopping, I like products and stuff like that, and I am a person who I shop across brands and stuff like that, so I know what would be a good replacement in most cases. Sometimes I don't. Like alcohol, I don't. Like beer, I don't replace stuff on that. If they don't get it, then I just don't get it, because it's just like I feel like I know people are pretty particular about their alcohol and stuff like that, so I don't do that. But as far as like food, like I'm like, okay, they could probably like this or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't like, I don't know. Some people be unhappy with they replace. I feel like I don't really get too many complaints about the things that I replace. Now, one thing that does annoy me is that they haven't really given you a suggestion for the replacement, and you replace something, and then they be like, oh, but it'll at the top it'll say the customer wants this instead or whatever. It's just like, ma'am, if they had that, I would have gave it to you, but they don't got it. Okay, so then I send them a chat and be like, look, do you want what I replaced it with, or do you want a refund? Because they don't got what you want, unfortunately. But yeah, back to replacements, as far as that goes, I just try to replace. I used to, when I first started, try to, every time somebody was out of something or a store was out of something, I would ask the customer what they would like instead or whatever. Even try to send a pic. You could send pics or whatever in the chat and show them like what the shelf looked like or whatever, or show them, and they could pick something in the vicinity. But it be taking too long, okay? The customers be taking too long to respond. Some of them don't respond at all. And it just slows me down. And so what I do is I just deal with it on the back end. So if they happen to see, like literally when you're in the chat, it'll show like every time you replace something, it'll send a little notification. Now, whether these people is using the app, that's on them, but it definitely is notifying you, hey, your shopper replaced this with this or whatever. So I just replace it, and then if they want something else, then we'll do it like that. And most of the time, they probably was cool with whatever I replaced it with, or they'll ask for something else that might have been available, and I chose what I thought was the better option or whatever. But yeah, I don't always ask them. Now, when I do ask about replacements, if I see that they are active in the chat, then like if they hit me up about something else or whatever, then I'll like start asking them if after that, if I can't find something, what would you like? But my thing is that when I first started, like these shelves were so bare, like these stores was out of everything. So it was just like, look, y'all gonna have to get what y'all get, because they don't have, these stores literally don't have it, okay? So yeah, so that's that on replacements. I'm not really active in the chat. It just slows me down. I'm sorry. What else? Of course, with alcohol. So there are different ways that you can gain access to extra batches, and one of them is getting certified to deliver alcohol. What I think is fairly weird, though, is that this app think that when you go to Kroger and I guess you obviously, you probably have to be over 21 anyway to even buy alcohol or whatever, or even handle alcohol on an order. So I guess it makes sense. But the app be like, when you scan on alcohol, it be like verify the customer age. Kroger don't want to see the customer ID. They want to see my ID. So I think that's pretty funny. The only reason why I thought about that because last night it was a Friday night and just I had got every order that I had. Somebody was ordering alcohol or whatever. So I'm just like, Kroger don't want to know what their age is. They want to see my ID. I'm the one that's at the store. Or maybe I'm supposed to tell them that I'm Instacart and give them the customer's age. But at the same time, it's just like the customer ain't at the store buying this. I am. So I don't know how that work out. I usually just always get my ID. What else? I heard that first of all, I heard that it's bots out here taking batches, like people using bots to get orders. That's interesting. But also what really made me believe that this morning was that I've been up since 7 and looking for orders, and I didn't really get one until about 9 o'clock, which is just very unheard of. I mean, it is Saturday, and Saturdays are definitely different. Saturdays, I feel like most of the time are a little slower, but last Saturday, it was booming out, man. It was booming last Saturday. But yeah, dang, I forgot. I just had a thought that I lost when I said that. What else? I'm just trying to go over everything that I be thinking about or that I think is useful or whatever. When I'm checking out. Now apparently, Instacart wants you to. I done passed my dang on street. See, I need to be. Usually I do have the dang on the volume on, but clearly I'm trying to do this video. But I guess apparently Instacart wants you to always use a cashier to check out. I don't do that. I don't always do that. If I'm using a cashier, it's because I've just got lazy and just didn't feel like checking it out myself. But most of the time, I check out my dang on stuff because it's just faster, it's quicker, it's easier. Also, how I organize my cart. The first time I don't even think I ever tried to use 2 carts at one time. The first, what I do is if I have multiple orders, I have 1 cart, and I use a basket. One of those baskets. I put that in the middle of, I put that in the basket part of the cart and not the top part where the kids sit. And then the first person, 1 order is at the front part. My second order is in the basket, and my third order is in the cart basket part or whatever. And usually I just do an ABC. That way I can just always know that the top part of the cart is A, the basket is B, and the rest of the cart is C or whatever. But sometimes if one of them has, one or more, has a differing amount of items or whatever, like say C has just 1 item, but A has the most, I'll put A in the basket so that, I can, keep a track like that. But yeah, I only use 1 cart. And I just, I organize it like that. And then when I'm bagging up the groceries, I'll usually if B isn't that big, I'll use paper for B. I'll use, regular plastic bags for A, and then I may tie the bags of C, or I'll just separate it in my car. I also have a Meyer little basket. Don't tell nobody. I got a Meyer basket that I'll separate orders. So if I have 2 orders that are plastic bags, I will if I got 2 orders of plastic bags, I'll put 1 plastic bag in the Meyer basket, and then the other one in the rest of my trunk. Okay, this person say ring the doorbell, please. Okay, but they also say leave it on a. Well, it gives you the option to leave it on the doorstep, which I'm going to leave it on the doorstep, but I will ring the doorbell. All right, off to deliver. All right, so I dropped that one off. Also, when y'all, I actually want to go that way. When y'all are doing these heavy orders and stuff like that, make sure y'all use proper body mechanics, okay? So if you got some big water or whatever, you know what I'm saying, bend with your knees, y'all, bend with your knees. What else? Right now I'm about to drive back to the area that I came from. This one was kind of a little far, but you know, there are only 3 Costco's, I believe, in my area, and so sometimes Costco orders can take you pretty far. And I don't even think I looked at how far that was for me before I even accepted it, but it's fine. I think I was just too. Sometimes I get really excited and I hurry up and press the button or whatever, and that has definitely gotten me in a pickle at some points. I've definitely gone super far. It's beneficial for you to like try and stay in the same area, like not go that far, because now I got to drive. I forget how many miles to say I'm away from the store. I was just in 8 miles. I think that was probably 10 miles away from where I was. So you know what I'm saying, just take you longer to get back, and that's longer that you can be shopping some orders, you feel me? So all right, so what else? But once I get to like an area where I know I'm gonna get orders that I want to take in the area that I'm in, then I will let y'all see, let y'all see my phone, see the orders pop up and stuff. So see now, sometimes Grayson, I am by Worthington. Okay, there's an order on here for $20. It's 2 people, and 49 items, 53 units. I am really close to this code right here. But yeah, I would be very selective. Listen, them orders, don't feel no type of way that, them orders are sitting out there too. There's people out here, they shopping, they gonna get them orders. I try to be very selective about how I'm spending my time. Try to be very smart about it. Cause when I first started, now when you first start, you have to wait to get your card in order to get more, like a whole bunch of orders or whatever. Basically any place that accepts a credit or debit card. So until then, they'll only send you orders for stores that accept like Apple Pay or what's it called, Android Pay, or whatever they got, Samsung, I don't know, whatever they got, whatever Androids got, orange Androids, I don't know what I was supposed to say. So I got like a lot of Meijer, like I feel like some Family Dollars, and what else? Some other stores accept like the Apple Pay or cardless pay and stuff like that. But I was going somewhere with that, y'all. I really was. Oh, so whenever I first got all the orders, like when I got my card and stuff like that, I just you got to know the addresses of the stores that you are around you, because they won't always send you like stores that are close to you. Sometimes they send you stores far away, and you be like, ooh, that's a good order, and then you mess around, have to drive 30 minutes across town to go to a store, which is what happened to me. Also, when you still have the app on, it'll send you orders for places where you're really close to, so it's not always in the area where you want to shop and deliver in and stuff. I have definitely gotten caught up with that as well, like, and just not even paying attention, man, just messing around and seeing that it was a good pay for the batch, and then accepting some trash, y'all. It'd be crazy. So yeah, Costco, they don't number the aisles, or at least not where I am, but it tells you like general where the stuff is generally, but it's really not helpful, so I don't even pay attention to that. Now I know about where everything is, so I guess I should have, I don't know how long it took me, but it didn't take me that long. It didn't take me that long to do that Costco order. I just had, it's a $40 Sam's Club order. But Sam's Club is not near me though. Almond milk chips. I wonder if my brother talking about me. Okay. So yeah, I think I've given all of the tidbits. I mean, also even down to what I wear. I used to like, well, obviously in the summertime, you know, you can be pretty comfortable, but in the wintertime, you know, it's cold, so you want to be warm, but also, you know, for whatever reason, I don't know why it's this way, but when I get done shopping, like when I get to the register, I get so hot. I get super hot, so I can't wear like my big coat, can't wear it. Instacart. And so typically, if you see me outside in this cold, I got a hoodie on, and I got you know, this little vest on. Try to get layers, but also not be too hot. So that's where I'm at with it with today. I got my hoodie on and my little vest, and I put this little thing on my head, try to keep my head warm, and yeah. And then I have my little. I like to wear a crossbody little bag or something. I like to wear a crossbody bag to just have everything on me, have my keys on me and stuff like that, because my car, you know, it's a push to start, so I don't have to have the keys. Like, you know, I don't have to put it in the ignition or whatever, but I want to make sure, like, I do leave my car on. I don't turn it off when I'm delivering. So just making sure that, you know, I don't leave my keys in the car or any of my valuables in the car while I'm delivering, because, you know, anybody could just hop in my car and they mess around and have my wallet and stuff. Also, another thing is that I've heard that it's frowned upon to Instacart with your kids or whatever. I do. I do. And I do. Was about to say I do, because I feel like it's just me going to the grocery store, and when I'm delivering, like they're not in the car for more than like less than 5 minutes by themselves or whatever. Now what I do for those of you that you know plan on doing it and gonna have your kids, I make sure that I have snacks in here. We stop for like little lunch breaks or whatever breaks and get food, and I make sure that the bubby got what he need. He got he got his tablet or whatever he need to keep him entertained. Gavin likes helping me in the store, so he'll do that if he comes with me. And I do it like that. I don't feel like I'm putting them at risk or they're in danger because I'm Instacarting with them in the car. Like, is this Worthington, or do I need to go? I'm so confused. Oh, okay, I need to go straight and turn next. They did construction around here, so it's really confusing me. All right, so yeah, I do Instacart with my children. Now, as like right, obviously today he's not here. But I try to go on days that I don't have him, or at times I don't have him and stuff like that now, and I've been very fortunate and blessed, like here recently, to be able to do it and not have to bring the bub along. Also stopped doing it a lot in the wintertime because I just didn't want to have him out here and stuff like that. But shoot, the bubby don't care, and the bubby like helping out. Like, if y'all remember one of the big Happy Family collabs that we did, the bubby was in the back he was helping me. Okay, we don't even know where the lane's at, okay, because ain't no lines on the thing. The bubby was he be handing me the stuff to check out or whatever, like, so he like helping out. So listen, I can't, you know what I'm saying, obviously an office job I couldn't take him to work, but I'm literally just going in the grocery store shopping. Like, I don't feel like there's no harm or risk I'm putting him at. And again, like, it's not like I'm I don't know, I'm not leaving him in the car for long periods of time by himself and stuff like that. Like, I'm literally just going and putting the groceries on their doorstep. And I mean, let's not act like parents, okay, if we've had to go I mean, when you get home, do you probably leave your kid in a car for a couple seconds until you could get everything in the house? Same concept. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? So, judge not or judge your mama. I don't care. And you, as listen, people have my parents, they left me in the car for way longer than that. They done went in the store and grocery shop and left me in the car. So, I'll take them in there with me. All right, so yeah, I think that is all the tidbits that I have. And one time I did have somebody with me when I was Instacarting, but I was also showing them how I Instacart or whatever, and they did start Instacarting and stuff like that. But I don't typically have people with me. But I can understand how that is frowned upon, because your information like is given to the customer or whatever, so they know who to expect when someone comes to their house. And if you got somebody with them, I could just understand like, oh, they could be nervous because this person technically you ain't authorizing them to come because they don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's a stranger. So I get that or whatever, but it's not something I do often. It's just one time. All right, so the rest of it you'll see, different clips of me shopping and things of that nature. Yeah, shopping and delivering and stuff like that. I'll try to get y'all through the whole process and stuff like that. May not be the same order, but I will get you clips of me from start to finish. All right. And again, right now I'm just going back to the general area where I want to be at, so that